brilliant speed with vibrant service, vibrant broadband internet.
How about that? It's 10:30. You can tell for two reasons. One, it's on the clock, and other, there's the music for Vibrant You. Take it away.
Music. That's the music for Vibrant You, isn't it, Jeff?
It is. We're getting used to it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. My name is Shane.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Nathan.
Last week we talked about live streaming, which is kind of a one-way video feed where people can watch what you're doing. We live streamed the Parade of Bands a few weeks ago, and so we talked about that last week. So this week we're going to talk about two-way video communication. And, you know, in a one-way, like a live stream, you can interact with, like, maybe a chat or do comments, but there's no video or audio in that interaction. But with video conferencing or, like, video calls or chats, you have two-way communication with those. And Jane's going to start us out with what video conferencing is.
So video conferencing is allowing you to see and chat with people in real time anywhere you want. And this became a big deal in COVID, and this is kind of my memory of it. So you can share screens, share files, ideas. It's perfect for team meetings, online training. It cuts the travel time, and you know, the other thing is you're right there. You hang up the phone and you jump in work right away, so you don't have to worry about the missing something that you get more work done, basically. And then this is great for, you know, family and friends that haven't been together for a long time. I know when we were COVID, we have friends where we have our family out in New York. So my mother-in-law would Zoom call in from St. Louis Park, and then we had some people from New York come in. So we were all safe and healthy, and we just caught up and chatted. So that was perfectly great.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's an interactive conversation over video, and that's done through the internet, essentially. But this wasn't really possible maybe 20-ish years ago is when the internet kind of came fast enough to do some of this stuff. And so generally you need internet, a camera, and a microphone if you're doing it on a computer. These days our smartphones are kind of an all-in-one. You don't really need any equipment but a smartphone, and you can do some of this. I still remember the first time I ever video chatted with somebody was one of my best friends. He was serving in Iraq for the military. This would have probably been the late 2000s, and we did it over Skype. Skype was kind of one of the first big video chatting things. So we had a Skype conversation with him in Iraq, and I remember his internet connection was pretty poor, so it was really choppy. The quality was pretty bad, but it was cool to get to see his face and talk to him because he was gone for like a year. So that was really, really awesome. So nowadays, the top platforms for businesses, a lot of people who use these for business and personal, but Zoom has become, I don't know what the Zoom stock was before COVID, but my guess is post-COVID it was significantly higher because Zoom really took off during COVID for businesses, for schools, for friends and family. But Zoom is great. It's large. You can do large meetings with a lot of people. You can do polls. You can do like a whiteboard where people can work on projects together. It's reliable. It's easy to use. If you already use Microsoft or your business uses Microsoft Teams is becoming extremely popular for like it integrates with Microsoft. It's obviously owned by Microsoft, so that's really great. We use that in the office because we go through Microsoft for a lot of our stuff. Google Meet, I'm a Google guy, so Google Meet is really, really popular for people that have Gmails already and Google Calendars because it all integrates with that. You can set up meetings and all stuff like that. And then GoToMeeting and WebEx, I remember using WebEx with my previous employer like 15 plus years ago. WebEx is one of the very first business platforms for video conferencing and video calling. So you can think of, you know, Star Trek and some of our old sci-fi movies and shows were so far ahead of their time because they used to do video chats from like, you know, ship to ship and some of that stuff. I bet, you know, people thought that was never ever going to happen. Well, we're there, baby. I mean, I'm waiting for the teleportation, but at least for video chatting, right, we're there.
So Nathan, your first interview for Vibrant was done through Zoom, correct?
I think Bo's was. Mine were mostly in person.
Okay.
I think it was in COVID though. The office was closed. I had, you know, everybody was masked up. But I think all mine were in person. So
Bo's started out as being over Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure. And so video calls and chats, well, how are they different than a video conference? Well, video conference supports large groups. So think of it as kind of having a meeting, like you're in a meeting room and you have everybody's face is on a camera or whatever. And you can do like file sharing, you do polls like Nathan mentioned, whiteboards, where you can kind of show things, what's going on. Where video calls usually involve 2 or 3 people, a very small group. And, they use things like FaceTime, that'd be Apple's version, FaceTime, WhatsApp or Google Duo, things like that. Ideal for quick chats, interviews, or, like personal conversations. So that's what, like a video call. And they just offer basic features. They do some screen sharing, but they're not going to have whiteboards and they're not going to have polls or file sharing and that kind of thing. Video chats are more casual. They're kind of spontaneous interactions. So like some of the messaging apps now are going to let you do video like interactions in small groups. Snapchat does that. Facebook Messenger is another one that does that as well. But they're kind of more relaxed and more social, so they're not as maybe business-ish as a video conference would be. So that's kind of the difference between what a video chat and video call versus a video conference.
So meeting with friends, this is a perfect opportunity. When it was in the 90s, Thursdays were a big night for TV. And so I would pick up the phone, my flip phone, and call my girlfriend. And call my girlfriend. And
I was proud to have my flip
Wasn't
phone.
it?
Oh, yeah.
That was a big step up.
It was a big step. And just as a sidetrack, when you go from the bag phone in your vehicle,
that's
if
what
you
I
did
had.
have, yeah, and then you had the cord that was connected and and then you went to the flip phone, just the freedom that you had.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the texting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, so I would call my girlfriend and we would watch all of our favorite TV shows, laugh at the same time, and then talk during commercials, that kind of stuff. So now here we are today, right? So Zoom, this is great. Again, you get audio video quality, easy to use. It's free for 40 minutes. My mother-in-law uses this for happy hour. She calls all of her friends and they sit there and do happy hour. It started in COVID and now she can't drive anymore, so it's a perfect opportunity for her to hang with friends.
Nice.
It's about how long it takes to put down a whiskey. About 40 minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yep, and then there's Google Meet. This is 60 minutes and then it'll just cut off. Mary Alice does scrapbooking like this, so no install is needed. You just use your browser. It integrates smoothly with the Google Calendar, so it'll pop up with reminders. And then it's low on bandwidth, so if you have kind of a sketchy internet connection, it still allows you to meet with your people. And then there's Facebook Messenger rooms. There's no limits on that, and it's super casual. You don't even need a Facebook account. And it's great for your friend groups and already chatting with Messenger. So, and it's lightweight, ideal, and spontaneous video chats.
There you go.
Yeah, some kind of next level. We'll say maybe 201. If we just did 101, kind of the basic level. Maybe this is 201 when it comes to some other programs like Discord is a really popular one now. It originally started strictly kind of for gamers where they could chat audio visual while they're gaming online and stuff like that. Now it's branched off. You can set up a Discord think of it kind of like a Facebook group. Like you could have a Litchfield Discord, City of Litchfield, where people can chat about stuff Litchfield, video call each other, chat each other, just kind of an open platform. You can make some private, you can make some public, but it's a way to either do audio or video chats pretty easily with groups of people. And then Teleparty, which started, I think, as Netflix Party, is a cool program where you can join like a chat room from multiple different locations, and you can watch the same video and the same, you can watch a Netflix movie or a Disney show or whatever, and they're all watching at the same time, and it's, you can talk. Most people. I'm one of those people that tries not to talk much when shows are on because I want to stay focused. But if you're one of those people that likes to talk in the theater, this is the one for you because you can just chat with your friends while you're watching something in real time. It's really cool. I remember I did some of this during COVID. When we watched like a Netflix movie or a show with some family members just because we couldn't really get together. So that was really, really cool. So if you like to hang out, you can still have the interaction, but you either live far away or it's not convenient to do so. There are a lot of, we didn't talk about today, but there are you can join up and play board games. You can do some of this stuff with video chat or audio chat. I mean, the technology's really come a long way for sure.
Yeah. When I was researching the subject, I felt like I started going down some rabbit holes because there was so many different things that you could do with a video camera, microphone, and an internet connection. And some of them are so close, but yet they aren't exactly the same. So like a webinar, for example. Well, that's a little bit more like streaming, but it's also like a video conference, right? So, but the difference with the webinar is that you're kind of educating people on one subject. And a lot of people are watching, so it's kind of like live streaming, but yet there's some interaction. You can also do a webinar via Zoom. So it's kind of like a meeting, but one person's kind of running the show, kind of a thing. So there's a lot of different things you can do. And one of the interesting things, and Nathan touched on this a little bit, but there's a tool in Discord called Watch Together, and it allows you to view a YouTube video. So it's a YouTube plugin, I guess, for Discord, and it will start the video all at the same time, so you can watch the same video. Let's say you're maybe all researching a subject or whatever. You watch the one video, somebody can pause it, you can talk about that section or whatever. So that is kind of a cool thing that you could do. So, I mean, there's a lot of things with conferencing and chats and calls that you can do on your internet connection. But having a good solid connection is kind of the main factor right here. So it's kind of a cool thing. You can hang out with friends, or you can conduct business, and it saves on travel costs and time. You know, especially time. If you have to fly out to New York for a business visit, for example, and the time it takes to get to the airport and then fly across the country, and then you got to get a hotel room and all that. You can have this done in an hour, where it might take a couple days doing it the other way around.
But there's nothing like meeting in person.
Well, no, that is true.
Yes.
That is true.
So Shane and Jane are going to be taking Dreaming of Streaming over the road.
Oh, boy.
We're on the road, yes.
It's going to be in
Meeting in
Painesville,
person.
Wednesday, July 23rd at 5:30. We're going to be going over Dreaming of Streaming. And then we're going to be at the Painesville Green Room Community Center. So if you're in town, if you aren't and you want to make the drive down, we'd love to have you. So we'll be there. And then if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about or Vibrant in general, give us a call. We're at 693-3231. Or if you want to learn more about us, you can look at vibrantbroadband.com. Catch the replay on Facebook or YouTube channel. Search Vibrant Broadband. And then listen live every Wednesday at 10:30 on KLFD.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Thank you, KLFD. Thank you, audience, for listening. My name is Shane.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Nathan.
Tune in next week for another Vibrant You Live.
Brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.